Hey, Chris.
Hey, Brian.
So have you ever heard the band Perfect Circle?
I have not.
Okay. We have a song called The Doomed that I think would be interesting to see what you think.
All right.
If you're ready.
I'm ready.
All right, here we go.
Behold the new Christ, behold the same old horde. Gather at the altar ring, new beginning, new word. And the word was death, and the word was without light. The new beatitude, good luck, you're on your own. Blessed are the fornicants, may we bend down to be their whore. Blessed are the rich, may we labor, deliver them more. Blessed are the envious, bless the slothful, the wrathful, the vain. Blessed are the gluttonous, may they feast us to famine and war. What of the pious, the pure of heart, the peaceful? What of the meek, the mourning, and the merciful? All doomed. All doomed. Behold a new Christ, behold the same old horde. Gather at the altar ring, new beginning, new word. And the word was death, and the word was without light. The new beatitude, good luck. What of the pious, the pure of heart, the peaceful? What of the meek, the mourning, and the merciful? What of the righteous? What of the charitable? What of the truthful, the dutiful, the decent?
Alrighty then.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm going to send you the lyrics so you have them if you want to refer to them.
That was that's one way to look at it, I guess. The thing about it, though, as I was looking in, as I was listening to that song and hearing it, I mean, obviously it's inverted, right?
Right.
From the Beatitudes of the scriptures from Matthew and such, as obviously the inverted.
Mm-hmm.
But in many ways, it feels like the Beatitudes from this song are the ones that get played out in our world.
Yep.
And it's always something to wrestle with, right? There's a great, I think I may have shared this story somewhere before, but there's a preacher story, as I like to call them, of a pastor who one day decided to simply preach the Sermon on the Mount, word for word, out of the Gospel of Matthew. So, chapters 5 through 7 in the Gospel of Matthew. Just preach them like he normally preaches. And he did that, and afterwards, the response from people was startling. There were people that accused him of preaching liberal propaganda, which he thought was a very interesting take from simply reading the scripture. Then there was others who said, when he told them, well, these are just the words of Jesus, there were others who told him, well, those words might be nice for back then, but they don't work anymore.
Oof.
And that this song, in a little more hard rock, basically gives a song to that.
Mm-hmm.
Of, well, the Beatitudes are great, and they might be nice to strive for, but in reality, our world, our culture, our society lives the opposite.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the opposite is what we're being kind of fed and told, and yeah.
Mm-hmm. And what about the people who strive to be righteous, who strive to be meek? What about the poor? What about those who hunger and thirst for righteousness? Well, you're all doomed. You're all doomed.
Yeah. Yep.
Sorry about your luck.
Yep. You can't compete.
No, you can't compete. But it's actually really interesting. I'm listening presently to a podcast called The Rise of Bonhoeffer. I don't know if you know who Dietrich Bonhoeffer is. Yep. He's a World War II era German theologian who was coming of age at the same time Hitler was rising to power in Germany. And it was, and part of it is that I've been talking, that the podcast is talking about right now, is, Hitler's takeover of the church and how he did that, and how Bonhoeffer has resisted and did resist the entire time, especially leading up to World War II. When I think about this song, the lyrics are what people like the Nazis would have preached.
Right.
In many ways, the Christo-fascists preach this similar gospel. And
the prosperity gospel also kind of.
What was that?
The prosperity gospel reminds me of this some too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Well, they're all related.
Yeah.
In my opinion, they're all related. The prosperity gospel tends to say these things with a smile on their face. The Christian nationalists, Christo-fascists tend not to.
Mm-hmm.
And that might be one of the only differences. No, but I think when you look at Bonhoeffer, you know, the Nazis did end up killing him like 3 days before his concentration camp was liberated or something like that. Mm-hmm. But he presented to us the cost of discipleship, costly grace, showing that living out the Beatitudes did not have to be passive, did not have to be submissive to the evils of this world. In fact, quite opposite. To live out the Beatitudes in our lives as Jesus proclaimed the Beatitudes is far more radical, far more costly, and a more difficult calling than the Beatitudes that were reflected in this song. Mm-hmm. In fact, I would argue that these are easy. These are lazy person Beatitudes. Mm-hmm. that this band sung about, and I'm going to give them the benefit of that this is a commentary song.
It is. It's 100% is.
Yep. Bordering probably on satire in many ways, the way I understand satire. Some, talking about something so ridiculous that it could be true. It could be what you really think, but it's not what you really think.
Right.
But to see those words so starkly sort of out there, and my reaction was like, oh man, that is not the Jesus way, but it is the world way.
Right. Yep.
And in my line of work, my vocation, my calling, it's my job to call people to the Jesus way, despite what the world wants them to say. And, that living out the Jesus way of the Beatitudes is far more risky. And are we all doomed if we live out the Beatitudes?
I feel like that's what the world tells us.
Yeah. It is.
Yep.
Oh, very much. Yeah. Very much. And it's always as hard as church people try. And I know a lot of faithful, very diligent people. That worldview, those Beatitudes of I call them Beatitudes of Darkness, do find their way to they'll slip into any little crack that you'll give them. Whether it's how do we care for the poor? Well, we don't want to give them too much. We don't want to make them dependent. The toxic charity type way of looking at life. You want them to pick themselves up by their bootstraps, blah, blah, blah. That type of thing. But Jesus doesn't say, Jesus helps those who help themselves.
Right.
In fact, I had a friend of mine who shared just this last week that they had at their church several people from sort of a group home, halfway house, who attended their church, and a leader of their church said to one of them, well, God only helps those who helps themselves. It's one of those, that's one of those dark Beatitudes that just, it slips, it just slips in.
Yep.
That it finds a hole, and it pervades, and it comes out. And that's not the Jesus way. That's not the way Jesus preached at all, ever. When Jesus said, give away all your stuff to the poor and follow me, he wasn't joking. I don't think he was at all.
Yeah. I feel like the song, it by stating everything so bluntly, it's sort of like, okay, if this is what you're saying, the way it should be and the way things are, then look what it looks like when you actually just go out and say it.
Just right. I mean, that was the thing about this song.
Kind of shocking. It's like,
oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, and the setting for it was perfect because like that hard rock.
Yeah.
Like that
it has edginess.
Oh, the edginess. It almost like he was, they were playing sort of like when you swing a baseball bat. Like, and it gives them such a grit.
Yeah.
And an edge and that in your face that we don't like to acknowledge, right? Because we don't want to, we sit here and go, oh, that's so ridiculous. People don't believe that. Right? People don't believe that. But then you look at it, then you start to hear people talk and the way people act. No, that's exactly what they mean.
Yep.
They're just saying it in fluffy language with a smile on their face.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how you act, how you believe, how you vote, says a lot about what you think about the teachings of Jesus. And really what this song did is just took those views that are understated or said with a wink, wink, nod, nod type thing and just came out swinging a baseball bat at it. Like, they just put it right in your face. Yep. Right, yeah. Just put it, just like, boom. It's like that little sucker punch thing, like, bam.
Mm-hmm.
And you hardly knew it coming before you're like, whoa. Yeah. Whoa. So, that was wild. Like, I'm not going to lie, I was not expecting that. You said a song about the Beatitudes. I'm like, all right, well, let's see what. Yeah, I liked the Beatitudes. I preached about the Beatitudes probably about 3 months ago. That was fun.
Yeah. Well, did I lie?
No, you did not lie. You did not lie. You did not lie. There was a little bit more of an intensity than I was expecting, but that's okay. That's okay. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. No, I appreciate that song. It just is a different perspective.
Yeah.
On things that
I feel like it shines a light. It shines a light on things where you can't ignore it.
Oh, it doesn't shine a light. It shines one of those hospital, like those surgery lights that, you can't ignore it. And really it should be that way. We can't ignore it. We can't ignore it. We have to call that behavior to account. We can't just let it, we can't let that kind of sentiment, that kind of thought, those kind of dark Beatitudes go unchecked.
I think part of the reason we're where we are at the moment is because they have gone unchecked.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Or to me, I've thought we've let them go unchecked in the name of the economy. Mm-hmm. Whatever that means. Whatever the economy is.
Blessed are the gluttonous, may they feast us to famine and war.
Yeah. Oh, and it talks about the rich. We hold a special place for the rich. We put them on a pedestal. And we assume because they are rich means that they are smart.
Yeah.
And over again that they prove the opposite.
It's blessed are the rich, may we labor and deliver them more.
Yeah.
just how it kind of works out.
Yeah, well, and we have put the rich sort of, I don't know, it feels like the old Gilded Age of the late 1800s, right?
Mm,
The Rockefellers and J.P. Morgan and uh, the Carnegie and those guys uh, who were the barons, right? They were the
hmm
old robber barons, and Cornelius Vanderbilt and those guys who were, super, super, super rich, and how we put them on a pedestal for so long.
Yep.
And yeah, it's whew, yeah, definitely puts a baseball bat in the hands of that type of thing.
Yep.
But
I
I
sent you
would.
the lyrics on Messenger if you want
Ooh,
them
I'll
as
have
well.
to pull them out while I look
Yeah.
at them. But no, that was crazy. In a good way. I think it was
hmm
just, I think, probably be helpful more people heard that song. Uh,
Right.
Although I do know that's not everybody's cup of tea. That song style is not everybody's cup of tea. Not my cup of tea either. But hey, sometimes you got to listen to things that you're not normally listening to. Uh,
Yeah, and I feel
to
like it fits the bluntness of the of what they're
there's
yeah
no, you can't do that song any other way.
right yeah
No, no, you can't do that song as a pop song
right
or like a country western song. No way. No, that's only a hard rock,
yep
like grunge rock, like in your face type rock. Like you can't do that. No, no. But it still raises valid points,
mm-hmm
even if
oh
it's
yeah
not your cup of tea.
yep
Um, and maybe it's well, and obviously it's supposed to shake you up.
right
That's not a
yep
song that is to make you feel good.
Mm-mm.
It is supposed to shake you up, and it doesn't resolve anything. It's more of a call of what are you going to do about it.
right
We're all doomed. What are you going to do about it?
yeah
And now I'm a good Wesleyan. So I don't believe we're all doomed. I tend to be an optimist in the world. But that doesn't mean that we don't have a lot of work ahead of us or that it's not going to get harder before it gets better. I
right
just feel I'm more optimistic, I guess, than the average person because I'm a Wesleyan and I believe in God's grace that will carry us through it all. So, but yeah, no, that was wild.
yeah
I was not. That was unexpected, and it's okay
there
to be unexpected.
there's your shock for the day.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. You went shock jock on me today. I appreciate it.
Yep yep
Yeah,
yep
yeah,
alrighty
awesome.
well thanks
Hey, no problem. Thank you. This is great. I'll have to do it
awesome
again.
yeah